Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope your week's been a good week. Mine has been very good. A little up and down through the week, but it's just life, and doesn't mean I'm not grateful. I got nothing to complain about with my life. A beautiful wife, a beautiful life, a beautiful children, grandchildren. I have no right to complain about my life, so I'm not going to. Okay, so hey, I posted yesterday a piece from my book from chapter 13 entitled "Finding the Authentic Self." And it's work from Dr. Alan Berger and Karen Horney. And Dr. Alan Berger is somebody I look up to. He's got a big piece in my book. He talks a lot about the authentic self and some trauma work. And he got a lot of his work from Karen Horney, who I don't believe is with us anymore, but her work is still here and it rings quite true in today's world of trauma care. Anyways, here's what it says. An acorn cannot reach its full potential unless it grows in a nurturing environment and climate, which have to provide certain critical elements. The conditions for successful human development are highly similar. Like the acorn, we have basic needs that must be satisfied for us to thrive. That's from page 258 in my book, Healing the Man Within. The DNA of the acorn tree is well established within the seed of the acorn tree. And nothing we do can change what will grow out of that seed. Obviously, an acorn tree. However, in order for the acorn seed to sprout, break its way through the soil into the sunlight, and grow into the mighty oak tree it is destined to be, with its own unique set of qualities and characteristics, there needs to be adequate sunlight, water, and the soil needs to contain certain nutrients. Sounds a lot like us. And the developing oak tree cannot be exposed to harsh conditions until it is well rooted and has matured to a certain point. We can't expose that oak tree to storms or floods when it's young because it'll be uprooted right away. But once it gets fully rooted and mature, the big storm might come through and the big storm might snap branches on the tree or twist it this way or twist it that way. But as long as it's grounded and rooted deeply in its soil, it'll survive. It'll survive everything that nature throws its way. The conditions for successful human development are highly the same. The conditions for successful human development are highly the same. What is it that we really need to become or develop into the unique human beings or children of God that we were intended to be? Well, first, the obvious. We need shelter, we need water, we need food. And in many cases, parents feel this is all they are responsible for. Hey, I put food on the table, roof over his head, her head. I put clothes on their back. I provided shelter. That's all I need to do. They can figure life out themselves. I'm too busy making money. They just got to figure it out themselves like I did. Oh, that's what you want to believe. That's great. Now, the things that we need most, in the case of abuse victims, these are the things that are mostly, that we are deprived the most of, are secure and warm attachment. Okay? We need to be secure and warm. We need to be loved. We need to be provided with love and nurturing, not hate and shaming. Love and nurturing, not hate and shaming. Okay. We need to be seen and celebrated. We're little human beings. Okay. We're little kids. We need to be seen. Hey, Mom, I'm here. I'm here. I need you, Mom. We need to be seen. My granddaughters, when they see Papa, they come running to me. They just come running and jumping. They want me to see them. Look at me, Grandpa. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I drew. What I drew today. Look at this, Grandpa. I got to give them my time. We got to give our kids their time. They need to be seen and celebrated. The little things need to be celebrated, from not wetting their bed one night, from taking a D to a C, not from a D to an A, from a D to a C. The little tiny celebrations in life are so important. We need intellectual and spiritual stimulation, not manipulation. I was manipulated in so many ways as a child with fear. We need to be encouraged. And we need to be shown empathy. We need to be protected from traumas or abuse. I was not protected. I was traumatized and I was abused. I was not seen. I was not heard. I was not celebrated. Okay? I was manipulated. And there's many, I'm not the only one. In order to heal, we have to face the truth. We have to tell the truth what's inside of us. Okay? I've done a lot of healing, and it can be done. But it wasn't until I got honest and told my truth. If you're like me, sadly, you receive little or none of the above necessities needed to develop into a thriving child from your parents. I don't receive it from my parents. Okay? We also need a healthy dose of friction with the wishes and wills of others. We need to have expectations placed upon us, but not expectations that are beyond our reach. We need to be challenged with those wishes and wills of others. Okay, we need to be able to learn how to say no and mean no and stand on our ground and say, no, I don't care what you say. We need to know it's okay to agree to disagree. We need to know it's okay that your opinion might not match my opinion, but they're just opinions, and that's okay. And the only way we can learn that is when we get that healthy dose of the friction with the wishes and wills of others. The expectations we place on kids sometimes are just, I did it to my kids. You know, I did it to my kids. You place unreal expectations on them, trying to make up for our own childhood. Yeah, we want expectations. We want our kids to succeed, but keep it to a level so that if they fail, don't set them up for failure by putting too high of an expectation on them. Does that make sense? Too high of an expectation is only a setup for failure. Okay? We need discipline, and not in the forms of beatings. We need to be taught discipline. Okay? Like learning to study hard to get good grades in school. Okay? Look, if beatings work so well, why do we have to keep spanking our children? And there's actually studies today that show and say clearly that beatings and spankings do more harm than they do good. Okay? Discipline does not mean beating. Discipline means teaching them right and wrong. Discipline means, hey, Mom, I'm going to go skateboarding. You got a math test tomorrow, Randy. Yeah, I know, but no big deal. Well, yeah, you said that last time you had a math test. You didn't study and you got a D on the test, remember? And you told me that you were going to fix that. Yeah, but Mom, Randy, I let you have your way last time, okay? Now, you go skateboarding, but if you get a D on this test, then there's going to be some consequences for you. Okay, so I suggest you stay home. So it's teaching the discipline of not letting them do what they think they need to do. I don't know if that makes sense. It does make sense. I complicate things. So anyway, it's a discipline of saying no, because sometimes we have to do what we don't want to do to get to where we want to go. I guess I could have said that and made it a lot easier. Dr. Alan Berger tells us that if these conditions are adequately met, we will develop an inner security and an inner freedom that enable us to be responsible to our own feelings and express ourselves according to who we really are, not who our parents or society want us to be, but who God really wants us to be. We will be able to support ourselves and stand up for ourselves. We will grow along spiritual lines. However, as Dr. Alan Berger states, this rarely ever happens. Okay, just so you know, I'm not playing the blame game here. It's not my intention. I'm only using all of these as examples, real life examples. Okay, look, our parents and caregivers truly did the best they knew how to do. We have to accept that. They didn't know any better. I'm not saying it's right. In many cases, it's extremely wrong. But still, it's the best they knew how to do. Their actions were only learned behavior, handed down from generation to generation to them. They knew of no other way to parent, period. They just do what they thought. So now what do I do? Well, you're saying, Randy, but you don't understand. You're absolutely wrong. I do. Like myself, today, you can choose to either keep playing the victim card, or you can choose to start moving on into your healing journey. How do I do that? Glad you asked. Here is what I did, and what several other men I know have done. I got involved with 12-step meetings. Very important. I found men that I could look up to and who loved me like a father would to the best of their ability. I became vulnerable and started talking about my feelings and emotions with men that were safe and did not judge me or criticize me. Really important. You want these men to be safe. You don't want them to co-sign your excuses and your garbage. You want them to be able to lovingly walk you through your fears and your challenges, because it's a challenge. Men that taught me how to be a husband, father, and a contributing member of society. Okay. I got involved with my church and small groups. I did all the things I did not want to do. And in doing so, I am finding my authentic self, the person God intended me to be, not the person society or my stepfather and mother told me I should be. Remember, sometimes we have to do what we don't want to do to get to where we want to go. I got to tell you, this was not an easy piece to record, as it is a real deep subject. And on that, and one that has changed my life radically and continues to change my life daily. And there's a whole chapter called Finding the Authentic Self dedicated to this topic in my book, Healing the Man Within, which you can get at Amazon.com or on my website, CourageousHealers.org. You can also visit my website, ChangeYourLifeStoryNow.com, my life coach webpage. And if you're ready to start moving on with your life and make a change in your life, I'd be glad to help you in any way that I could. So visit that, ChangeYourLifeStoryNow.com. I'll leave you with this. A wise old sage gave me this piece of wisdom. He says, Randy, today, you be the father to your children or mother that you always wanted growing up. Randy, be the father to your children that you always wanted growing up. I didn't have a father that was loving and kind and compassionate and empathetic and encouraging. I did up until I was 12. Once my father passed away, then that all stopped. So that's what I wanted. Is I wanted the father that I described up above. Loving, caring, kind, compassionate, discerning. Would be there for me when I needed him. Just to say, hey, Dad, I'm struggling. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, it's kind of tough. All right. So that's what I do today. Sometimes when I'm having a hard time, I pick up the phone and I'll call my son. I don't tell him I'm having a hard time. I say, hey, son, how you doing today, man? I'm just thinking about you. I want to tell you I love you and I'm proud of you. Okay? That's it. It's real simple. All right, Dad, thanks. I love you too. Thanks for calling me. Okay? Remember that. Be the father or mother to your children that you always wanted growing up. All right, friends. May God's grace and blessings always rain down upon you. Have a blessed week.